That's view. What's happening, guys? Wanted to pop in real quick and say thank you for watching part 3 of the Baja series. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. If you hadn't seen part 1 and 2, be sure to go check those out. Also wanted to say thank you to all the partners listed here on the screen. Without these partners, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you guys a ton. The night before, Josiah had talked me into meeting him over at Tecolote so we can ride around on the dune buggy. And man, I must say, I was pretty impressed with how pretty this beach is. And I also ran into some fellow Nomad friends that just happened to be there too. I made it, and a beer was delivered to me as soon as I got here. And it's dune buggy time. My goal was to get pina coladas on the beach. And, well,
take it as a gift. Thanks for being cool.
pina coladas
Take care of
on the
Mike.
beach. Spent most of the day just chilling on the beach, enjoying the ocean and enjoying the company and sharing stories about our trip down to Mexico. And no Nomad party would be complete without a howl at the moon. And it most certainly wouldn't be complete without flow artists performing their craft and a little bit of face painting too. This is all easily summed up by just simply saying Nomad gathering.
You got maximum speed.
Man, I'm telling you, one of the things that we take for granted in America is the fact that we're able to communicate with every single person that we come across. I just hung around with some locals here to La Paz for a solid hour or so, and we communicated through the phone. And what I mean by through the phone is like we took turns translating. That's a different experience. Well, hatch view this morning certainly is not bad. So yesterday I came up here to Tecolote, I think is how you say it. I'm not real sure. But anyway, it's just kind of around the bend from La Paz. And I was coming over here to actually just check it out because I'd been told to stop by. And whenever I got here, I actually ran into some friends of mine that I know from other events that I've gone to. So I ended up camping out here, hanging out in the ocean, and just hanging out with them pretty much all night. And it's a beautiful beach. This is crazy because the beach on this side is just stunning, man. The water is crystal clear. You can see right through it. Feels great. Waves are minimal. It's just... yeah, so I got a chance yesterday to hang out in the ocean, which is something that I haven't done in quite some time, and it was amazing. Not real sure what the plan is for today. Right now I'm just kind of sitting back, chilling, enjoying the scenery and enjoying some coffee. I think, though, that I may end up kind of going around and down to the, what they call the East Cape. Go meet some other friends that are actually over there. It's crazy that... all my friends are down here in a whole nother country, so it's pretty wild. I guess whenever you hang out with Nomads, we could be anywhere, so that's pretty cool. Also watching these pelicans do some fishing is a pretty cool sight too. Overall, man, Baja, just in general, is a cool sight. Last night I did have a first, though. I ran out of cerveza and went to go get some, and I thought that the restaurants here on the beach, if you look that way, there's some restaurants, and I thought one of them would be open, but apparently they closed down at dark, like 8 o'clock, something like that. So they were closed, and I couldn't get any beer there, and I ran into a guy and his either wife or girlfriend or whatever, and asked them where I could buy cervezas. Of course, they spoke no English, and I speak no Spanish, and what we were able to figure out, he said, is at least 30 to 45 minutes away would be the closest place that I could go buy beer, but he had a few beers he'd like to give me, and I was like, oh, cool. So I stayed there and drank beer with him, because that's what you do. In that process, we ended up drinking like 4 or 5 beers together and hanging out for quite some time, listening to some music and talking back and forth. but we were talking back and forth through Google Translate, which was is really cool that we're able to do that. Technology is great, and it's really cool that we're able to connect that way. People from 2 different parts of the world, totally different languages, and yeah, it was pretty amazing, man. So that's the first for me, though. I've never hung out and talked back and forth through translator, you know. Huge shout out to everybody who has donated to the beer, food, and fuel funds. Your contributions, man, have really made this possible. So appreciate you guys a lot, more than you know. And there's links down in the description of all my videos, and those links are oftentimes the products that I use, and anytime that you use those links, then I do get a small commission off of those products that you buy. So I do appreciate that. That's one way that you can help. But also there's links there to where you could throw a donation into the beer, food, and fuel fund, and any little bit helps there too, so I really appreciate it a lot. But yeah, if you just check out the links down in the description, maybe there's something there that you might want to buy, or if you just want to help a brother out and buy me a beer, I appreciate that too. After a quick little ceviche breakfast and maybe a breakfast cocktail, I decided to go for a quick little exploration mission around Tecolote. Well, damn, this is a bad parking spot. All right, so I'm gonna get some recovery boards and try to get out. Thank goodness for traction boards. Highly recommend. It's kind of like one of those things, you know, like it's just easier to put these up. I mean, where would I have winched? Also, there's nobody here, so can't call for help. Well, in this immediate area. 10 out of 10 would recommend high quality traction boards. The more expensive ones are the higher quality, and you do get what you pay for. Dude, look like you scored. What you got there?
We got golden volley, 3 triggers, and 2 cornet fish.
Man, success. Another benefit to hanging out with nomads, and quite honestly, one of my favorites, is the potlucks, and nothing beats fresh caught fish from Baja.
Hey, how are you? Coconut turmeric rice.
Oh, that's why it smells so good.
What is it?
I smell that coconut.
Buenos dias. This morning it is about 6:30. I wanted to go see the sunrise on this little peninsula here, so that's where I'm headed to, but I had to stop at the 𝐒𝐵años first, which I would have thought that the 𝐵años bathrooms up at the restaurant, I thought that the restaurant would probably close or lock them, but they didn't. However, there happened to be somebody there at 6 o'clock this morning, which is strange because they don't open up until well later. And so I used the bathroom, come out, and the guy's shaking me down, telling me that it's not a public restroom in Spanish. I don't know what he's saying, but I can understand that it's not publico and no publico baño, and then pointed to a sign where it said it was $15 Mexican dollars to use the bathroom. So luckily I happen to have 20 pesos with me. Then I was able to get him to kind of get him off of my back, because he was quite perturbed that I was using the baño, which I guess next time I'll just have to go on the beach. But at any rate, it's nothing like being extorted for money first thing in the morning. So jeez, let's go check out the sunrise. Eric and Jay are off this morning to go catch some fish. The want for a paddleboard and or kayak has never been stronger. As you can tell, the fish are plentiful here. Watch this guy hunt though. Check him out. Straight up assassin. Baja. Look at the setup right here. Got the diesel Hilux, got the 80 series over there, got the pool behind, and then he's also got like this, it's like one of those inflatable raft, but it's, I don't know if it stays inflated or what, but it's like a rubber raft with a motor on it, and he's out there probably fishing, I assume. That's the setup, man. So not only are most all of the gas stations here full service, but they also offer free air for your tires, which is good because when you spend a lot of time on the beach, you have to air down, and being able to air back up is awesome. I am making my way down to another beach. It's a little bit more on the southeast side of the peninsula here, more so than what 𝐒𝐿𝐻 is. It's probably going to take roughly an hour to get down there or so. It's about 1:30 local time here. So from there, go head on down to Los Frailes, which is where a friend of mine is at. That's roughly about 3 hours from here. That's the current situation. Now, any overland adventure is going to require a little bit of preparation. However, going down to Mexico is going to require a little bit more preparation than what you might be used to. First and foremost, you're going to want to make sure that you have all of your documentation together. This means a valid driver's license and, yes, your passport. Now, I know you can talk to 100 different people. 50 of them will tell you that you don't need your passport. 50 of them will tell you that you do need your passport. Just go ahead and get your passport. Plus, once you go over one international border, you're going to be itching to see another one. I promise you. The next thing you're going to need to get is your Mexican FMN. This is essentially a visa that allows American and Canadian citizens to travel throughout Mexico. You can get it right at the Mexican border, and it's about 45 bucks. And last but certainly not least, if you're taking your vehicle down to Mexico, you're going to need Mexican insurance. And when it comes to Mexican insurance, there is no better company, in my opinion, than Baja Bound Insurance. Baja Bound has been providing Mexican insurance for over 30 years, and they are the #1 trusted name whenever it comes to Mexican insurance. It's super easy to get set up. I went online, I answered a few questions about Apple here, told them that it was worth around $30,000, and they provided me a quote that was actually cheaper than my current US insurance. They've got really flexible coverage options. You can get anything from 1 day to 3 months to 6 months, all the way up to a year. And aside from being fast, easy to set up, and extremely reliable, they have a 24/7 assistance hotline that can help you out with anything from roadside assistance, legal issues, to filing a claim. Now, all claims are settled in US dollars, and the repairs can be made anywhere in US, Mexico, or Canada. So if you're planning a trip to Mexico and you're planning on taking your vehicle, make sure that you check out Baja Bound Insurance. All right, well, this is the area that I need to be in. It looks like there's a lighthouse over there to the right. I think you can camp basically anywhere along the beach that lighthouse is on. And that's the plan, is to find a nice little secluded spot with a pretty beach, because I want to go try out my new snorkel set. I just got a snorkel set, courtesy of the donations that were provided by wonderful viewers like yourself to the Beer, Food, Fuel, and Fun account, which is basically just the CashApp, Venmo, and all that good stuff. So I appreciate it greatly. But yeah, I want to try out my new snorkel set. So I'm gonna try to get to a nice beach that I can do that. God, the water here is so gorgeous. Turquoise and beautiful. I hadn't aired down, so I'm trying to stay kind of out of the soft stuff for right this second, so I kind of get my bearings and figure out what I want to do. There was some cell phone service right kind of on down into the city a little bit more, so I'm trying to see if maybe if I can't go head over towards that way, if I can't get some of that cell phone service, because that'd be nice for tonight. Alright, so that's the first time that I've ever got that warning, which means that I'm gonna go ahead and put her down right now. I was trying to avoid having to air down, but I'm gonna air down. Alright, so I aired down to somewhere around 20 and put it in 4 low. 4 low is gonna make the RPMs a little higher, which is gonna get that fluid moving a little bit more and help cool down this transmission some. I'm also gonna go back down the hill that I was going up and get back down on this beach, because it looks like there's a bunch of like rocks, algae, and bullshit over this way. So, also, fun side note is I pulled up next to like this, I don't know, satellite looking thing or something. I don't know what it was. And that just happened to be where I stopped to air down. And the thing just kept on sounding the siren at me. Pretty odd. And it's got 2 cameras on it. Looked like one was facing straight towards me, like a motion detector type situation. And then the other was like one of those 360-degree directional cameras, like they can move it anywhere they need to. But pretty odd. I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's something to do with some kind of governmental thing. I don't know if it's to keep tabs on the beach or what it is, but pretty crazy. So this particular beach, it's kind of, it's kind of confusing. There's signs that basically say that they don't want you on the beach, and nobody's really parked on the beach. But it's kind of crowded too at the little areas where you can park. So I'm gonna keep on moving. It's only 3 o'clock. I'm gonna keep on moving, see if I can't find another spot with a really good view, you know? Looking on Gaia, I found this road here that appears to go cliffside right there on the edge of the ocean, and then go down into a beach area there, and then lead all the way down into an area called Los Barreles. And I think I'm gonna try that, because that's kind of a town right there. I know there's supplies and gas and everything like that you would need from a normal town, and it looks like this road is gonna be pretty, so let's do it. Spot that I saw from up on the cliff. And it looks really pretty. And I'm wondering if I can get there. These rocks are super soft. So where I want to be is like over there. And I'm not sure how to go about getting to it. Well, I mean, I'm kind of sure I know how to get to it. I'm gonna have to crawl over a lot of this shit here. The problem is do I want to risk it to do that? Do I want to risk it for the biscuits? You know what I mean? Like, this is super soft right here. I'm out where there's no service. This is super pretty right here. I mean, I could just camp right there and then call it an evening. I don't know though, man. On second thought, like, there's a lot of daylight still left, and probably a solid, I don't know, hour and a half maybe to get to Los Barrales, which is about an hour to 2 hours from where I'm gonna end up tomorrow. I'm conflicted though, because this is a pretty nice camp spot, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty nice. But I could just keep driving and I might find yet another good camp spot. I think I'm gonna keep driving, which is what I was already doing before I saw the camp spot. So it's only 4:30. There's still plenty of time, plenty of daylight. And the closer that I get to this city, the possibility of me having cell phone service is pretty high too, which wouldn't be bad. Would not be bad. So I'm gonna keep it moving. Oh well, I guess this will work. If it's got to, you know what I mean? The sun's gonna come up right over there. I could probably do a little snorkeling here, but man, that water is freezing. Scenery, stream / water, signal, solar, solitude, 5 S's, baby. So I happen to be just kind of hanging out in here, listening to a podcast, when I look over to my left and see the moon rising. Look at this. No way you could see that on the camera with this camera, but it's absolutely stunning. Dude's had a rough night, man. Looks like me whenever I wake up in the back of the truck at some random local bar, you know? I don't think you can really see it. Hair's all disheveled and shit. Him and the other bird were just arguing for a minute. Man, what a great campsite. I'm trying to put the deck down so I'm blocking the sun, because it's right at that time where it's just directly in your eyes. At any rate, man, super peaceful night, super good sleep, beautiful moonrise, beautiful sunrise, beautiful beach. I can't ask for more. It's hard to believe, because I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, what am I going to do today? Am I going to run down the road? And then I was like, I should probably stop somewhere and use the bathroom, this, that, and the other. And then I forget, like, I'm in Mexico. This is not the same as America. And it's so hard to forget that, you know, it's just not the same. It's different. So whenever I run into town, it's going to be different. I'm having an absolutely righteous time, man. It's been great. No other words to describe it. Well, I think I found the perfect spot to go snorkeling. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, this gentleman here is snorkeling. Looks like we've gotten some folks here on the beach to join us. Yeah, I'm stoked. I think I'm gonna do some snorkeling. Turns out you should probably get some better snorkeling equipment than the Walmart snorkel set, because this thing's gonna end up killing me, dude. Out there, for whatever reason, I couldn't get all the water out, so I was constantly having to battle with that. And then water would come in through the goggles, and it just, yeah. And then that turned into like a panicky type situation, which is not good when you're out there. And yeah, all in all, it was a tough first go at it, but I call it a win, man. I haven't been snorkeling since I lived in Florida, I was pretty young. We used to snorkel around the beach and snorkel in pools and stuff, so I don't even know if I'd count that. It's been a really, really long time. But at any rate, I did see some pretty cool stuff. Another use for this bash fat bumper, huh? A little clothesline action. It's not terrible. Interestingly enough, this is the main road to get to Los Furales, or however you say it. I keep on messing it up. But at any rate, I'm headed over here to see my buddy Mike drive the Globe. We're gonna hang out with him for a day or so and kick it there on the beach. Hope to do a little bit more snorkeling. Supposedly there's some good spots over there, so that'd be cool. And then from there, I'll probably head out to the East Cape and hope to do some surfing. I heard that there's a good spot to go do some surfing, Los Chorritos or something like that, so that's on the radar too. But yeah, right now I'm just taking this pretty good condition dirt road on down. I got probably another 30 minutes or so of driving before I get to Mike. Pulling up to Los Furales, I was met with more beautiful beaches and yet more friends. And Los Furales is pretty cool as it's got its own community of nomads that basically spend the season here, and I really can't blame them. I spent the rest of the day meeting some folks of the community and hanging out with friends and catching up. Buenos dias, Holmes. Well, the view for today is not terrible. It's funny how quickly we get jaded on good views. Neighbors are decent though. Got Mike over with Drive the Globe, got Next Gen over here, got Daniel over here. Could be worse, you know?
Turtle today? You know the rabbit?
Now, throughout my years traveling full-time, I've seen quite a few mini travel partners. You know, dogs, cats, normal stuff like that. But have you ever seen anybody travel with a turtle? Meet Vuitton, the expedition turtle. Or at least I think that's how you pronounce his name.
438 days.
I told you that. You were here.
You were right here, Eric.
I know, but I was preoccupied. Wasn't that when we were doing?
I'm not an expert, but I just don't think you're going to be able to refill that with that pump. So this is Mike. Aside from having this badass rig that you travel, well, all over the globe with, that's not quite enough. So you decide that whenever you get bored, you just hop onto a pedal bike and then you do extensive expeditions there too?
You know, pedal bike is so much easier than driving a truck, you know.
Well, especially when the sun's out, it's 90 degrees, you're in the desert.
My buddy over there, Eric and I, are going to do the, well, last year we did the Baja Divide, so that's 1,800 miles from San Diego to down here at the bottom of Baja. And now we're going to do the Cape Loop in a couple weeks on those oversized fat bikes, I guess you would call it. People ask all the time, it's not an e-bike. This is a pedal bike.
Right. Yeah, there's no motor on that.
No motor. And
Yeah.
and the route is 100% off-road, no pavement.
And how long is that going to take you?
Oh, this time we'll probably be out for 2 weeks, I would say. It's 250 miles, but
Okay.
it's unlikely to ever achieve, more than 25 miles a day, realistically.
25 miles a day.
A
And
100-pound plus bike, sand, hilly, climbing. You know the roads down here. It's way off the beaten track, so it's out in the.
And I suppose you're camping along the way in a tent, or are you cowboy camping, or what?
Camping in a tent. You got to carry everything with you. You got to carry your food and your water. Water's the big thing, because I can carry, at about 10 liters of water, but that's like 20 pounds of water, just water.
That's crazy.
Because refill points are, few and far between.
Yeah. Well, man, best of luck to you. If you guys want to check it out, you've got a YouTube channel where you document these travels, not only in your truck, but also in the bike.
Right now I'm doing a build series on this truck.
Okay.
And last year we did a 13-part series on the Baja Divide.
Sweet. Well, check it out. Where can they find you?
Drive the Globe.
All right.
At Drive the Globe on everything.
Good luck on your adventures, brother.
Thanks, man.
So this is Oscar. Oscar shows up every Thursday. And he's got all kinds of different stuff. Produce, groceries, all kinds of stuff. Breads. Butter cookies. Wow. Sourdough, jalapeno, and cheese.
Have arugula, mixed lettuce, tomatoes.
Nice. So even though you're out here in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, they've got a guy that comes by with all your groceries. How cool is that? At some point, I will show you guys how to get water while you're in Baja, Mexico. However, the past 2 times that I've gotten water down here, it's been because of friends. So the first time, Kurt and Jen, they have a purification system, a very in-depth purification system on Macho, the big box truck that they live in. And then now, my buddy Daniel over there in Snoopy brought over 5 gallons for us to refill with drinking water. Friends, common unity, community. Peep the setup. So you got Snoopy, the van, right? And then you got a full-on support tent over here, complete with water that he's using for laundry and shower and this, that, and the other. There's a shower. I think he's got on-demand. Daniel, didn't you say you have on-demand hot water?
I do.
On-demand hot water right there.
Fired. Runs off a 12 volt.
12 volt.
Yeah, little portable battery.
Got the motorcycle.
Got the grocery hauler.
Yeah.
Like you call it.
Dude, this is a setup.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot. But like you said, whenever you're someplace for 5 months.
If you're gonna be settled for once, you gotta make it home.
Yeah, and you've done that.
Yeah.
Good job, brother.
Thanks, man.
So what do you store in the garage?
Primarily, we have extra water from the well, but mostly, let's be honest, it's paper towel and toilet paper, just stacks of it.
Yeah.
Because why go out and get more every single time?
Yeah.
So just brought way too much with me, and I'm slowly working my way through the stack.
The well that he speaks of is right there, that little cement guy. It is like an old-fashioned well, like the one that Timmy fell down into. You just put your bucket on a pulley system there and wheel up some water, and that's where they're getting their fresh water from. But it still needs to be purified. Probably, maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. I mean, you could. I don't know. I'm not a water expert. I just know that that's where you get some fresh water. While Mike and Eric went to go practice for their cross-Mexico bike trip, the girls headed off to lounge by the beach, and I headed off to the nearest town to grab some breakfast. So I stopped and had breakfast, and they're having a hard time running the car because the signal's kind of poor in this little area. But it says that they ran the car twice, and I told them that they ran the car twice. And he said, check back in 30 minutes. If they did, then they refunded it. So, yeah, that's the current situation here. Had a pretty good breakfast, though. I'll tell you, nobody does pancakes like America does pancakes. Check out this badass old school 4Runner. It's pretty sick. It does still have the IFS, but pretty sick. I mean, you know, not as sick as Apple. See how the back end comes down real smoothly and then just, you know, to a corner here? I want to do that to Apple. I want to get rid of this madness and do a real smooth back end. But, you know, while we're talking about making body modifications and whatnot, I mean, goals, real goals would be chop the entire back end off and make it like a Chinook. Here's a 4-year-old's rendition of what I'm talking about. All right, well, the 4-year-old is me. So I came back to the same spot where they double charged me, and they speak 0 English. I speak 0 Spanish, and yeah, we came to no resolution. After a quick breakfast, I decided to head over to Cabo Plumo, which is supposed to have some of the best snorkeling and scuba diving available in Baja. All right, well, I'm gonna come down here and try it. The sun has come out, so I'm feeling confident. Hey, right there, fun fact, that little mountain that you see, big mountain, is the furthest east of the Baja Peninsula. So that's pretty cool. You know, that sort of thing, which it's pretty cool, so you should be. This beach is beautiful. Ooh, buddy, it is cold, dog. I mean cold, cold, holy cow. Jeez. Yikes, man. My normal strategy when it comes to cold water is walk about in it and get really hot up top. So that way I'd be ready for a dip, you know what I mean? This is some cold water, brother. Let me share with you a very important and likely expensive lesson. When you take your DJI Osmo down into the water, make sure this little flap is tightly sealed and secure. Yep. Just learned that the hard way. It's likely that you guys aren't going to be able to see what I see under here, and I apologize in advance. Dumb mistake, sorry. It was really cool. I got to see all kinds of really cool fish, some nice reef coral action that grows on the rocks there. Even saw like a medium-sized shark, not sure what kind, didn't want to find out if it would attack or not, so I kind of circled back around. And, you know, snorkeling kind of takes the wind out of you a little bit. It's a little tough, but I'm still really pissed that, not so much that I may or may not have ruined my DJI Osmo, but more so that I was unable to take it and capture all the cool stuff that I saw up underneath there for you guys. So I apologize, but yeah, shit happens. I'm hoping that it can sit here and maybe dry out. With fresh water, I would almost feel a lot more comfortable because salt gets into stuff and it just tears it up. So I don't know. Hope for the best. Fingers crossed. I'm also hoping that the memory card isn't damaged to the point that I can't get shit off of it. So we'll see. Also, I took that little orange piece off and I was able to clear out the water a little bit better. But I think I need just a better snorkel. The goggles are working okay. They're letting a little bit of water in, but the snorkel itself could use an upgrade, you know? I think even if it didn't necessarily have that purge valve on it, if it was just an old school Scuba Steve style, then it would work good too. Well, I tell you what, guys, I'm extremely tired, and all I've done is just think about you guys riding bikes.
A lot of wind today.
It was cool catching up with everybody in Los Feralis, but as you guys know, Sir William doesn't stay, Sir William likes to go, and it was time to do just that. And man, I'm telling you, the roads down here in Mexico are just an absolute dream with Apple's current setup. The whales have no idea how to be photogenic. Every time I break the camera or the drone out, they stop jumping up in the air. So cool though, man. Like I said earlier, I've been wanting to see whales in the wild since I was a little kid. And being able to do that out here is just righteous. It's awesome. I love it. Jumping out of the water, I mean, There's been people that have commented on my Instagram reel where I showed that have been around places with whales and around whales their entire lives and never seen them breach out the water like that. And I've been privileged enough to see it a whole lot since I've been here, and hope to see a whole lot more. Look at this beautiful view. Oh my God. Just incredible. While traveling through, I came across this really cool little taco spot on the beach, so I decided I'd stop for some tacos and a cold brew. Trying to see if I can't find a camp spot somewhere around here. I found a couple little areas where you can park kind of next to the beach, but if you notice, there's like a fence line all down. And one area that's kind of the closest to the beach, is kind of the most ideal, is behind that barbed wire. There's clearly people there and been people going in and out, but the barbed wire is pulled down right there. So I still don't want to go past it because I have a feeling that it's private property. There are signs all over the place too that are in Spanish. I don't know what they mean or what they say, but I would assume it's got something to do with being private property as well. So I'm gonna go up just a little bit further here. It looks like there's a little pool out that kind of circles down into the beach, and I'm gonna check that out. If I can't find anything, then I'm gonna keep on moving. Look right over here. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. I hope that it does. But some of those fish that look like, I don't know what they are. You see that? I can't remember what they're called, but anyway, they're kind of like sea rays, but they're jumping out of the water. And it's one of the coolest things. Like, they jump and fly out the water. See? Isn't that dope? I wonder if the camera picks that up. Oh, and then there's a whale out here. Oh man, see it? See it with the blow? That's so cool, dude. What an amazing place, man. And you can hear those things slapping the water too whenever they jump up. It's pretty wild. Having high clearance four-wheel drive out here is a tremendous benefit. And one of the only ways, I think, that you're going to be able to really avoid the crowds. Because the secret's out. Everybody knows how wonderful this place is. And, you know, I don't blame them for being here, because I'll likely never spend another winter in the States, because this place is phenomenal. The only downfall really is the fact that it costs so much money to get down here as far as gas goes and everything like that. But, you know, everything costs money. And in all honesty, look at it. There's a whale right out there, just straight ahead. Maybe he'll come back up, let's see. He's just kind of like bobbing along. So cool, man. See him? Isn't that dope? Look at that. Wow. Shit, man. So I'm sitting here watching the waves come in, and they're coming all the way up to this little hole right there. And then I'll look over here and I can see where it's come all the way up right there. And maybe even like right there. I don't know if I'm good right here. This is pretty cool right here. So that little raft, guy's down diving below. And I guess he's probably fishing. I would imagine he's fishing. And looks like he belongs to one of these boats over here. That to me is so awesome. I've seen a couple of people on YouTube that live in these things, and it's so dope. I would love to maybe try that one day, but right now there's so much to explore overland that I'm busy doing that. You know what I mean? Sad news on the 𝐼𝐧. I believe it is Dunzo. R.I.P. It says that it's powered up, but nothing comes up onto the screen, so not looking good for the 𝐼𝐧. That sucks. Because not only do I have to replace it now, which that sucks because, well, money. But the other problem with that is now you guys aren't going to be able to see any of the cool shit that I get underwater particularly. And it's a lot easier to set that guy up onto a tripod than it is to set the phone up. So it's not going to happen as much. All right, so I moved spots to avoid any problems with the tide. This is actually a little better spot. And I'm nice and protected by rocks and everything up here. And look at my view, bro. I mean, come on. It's crazy the amount of trash left out on the beach. I would assume by the locals. I really hope that people are coming here and trashing it that aren't from here. I mean, it sucks that people are trashing it, but I really hope that it's not foreigners. You know, in the US, sometimes my gripe is the fact that they don't have any like receptacles in places like the National Forest, different things like that. But surprisingly enough, here in Mexico, there are actually trash receptacles at nearly every public beach. So it's crazy to me that yet still, even with the trash receptacles, people are throwing their shit all over the beach. But they also do have like a federal agency that comes down through most of the popular beaches and picks up trash. So they're trying, you know, which honestly is better than what I can say about the US government, the Forest Service, and the BLM. They're not trying, they're just restricting access. Can we just take a moment to see these watercolors? Wow, buddy. Out there, there's like a pod of dolphins just jumping and twirling around, and it's pretty cool to watch. I can't hardly see it. You guys can very barely see it because I'm just using the camera on the phone here, but yeah, it's pretty neat. Made it to the city of Cabo San Lucas, and if I'm being completely honest with you, I want to go back to the fishing villages because this place is wild, crazy. Traffic is nuts. So you can get out of the traffic by going down through the city streets here. This was the similar ETA way to go on Google Maps. I'm headed over to a local watering hole that's got some pretty good reviews on the Google box there, so figure we go check it out. $2 beers, a place called Happy Endings. You can't really go wrong with that in my opinion. So go check that place out, see what's happening, and then I'll either camp somewhere in town tonight, or I'll head up onto the beach just a little bit more north. We'll just have to see how the night goes. All right, so that seemed like a good idea, right on up until the point that I've circled around the block no less than about 5 to 7 times, and there's nowhere to park. I mean, there's absolutely nowhere to park. Well, I didn't get to go and participate in any of the nightlife around Cabo tonight, or probably not tomorrow either, which is kind of what I was doing in Cabo. That was the reason I went through Cabo. I mean, I kind of had to go through Cabo anyway, just to, you know, complete the circle around Baja. But yeah, it's crazy down there, particularly when, you know, I haven't been around. I typically don't try to stay around any kind of large city or in any large city. Maybe on the outskirts of the small city, so maybe say like a suburban area outside of a big city, and then on the outskirts of that. Think of a town anything less than 100,000 people, and then on the far outskirts of that, you know, towns anywhere less than 10, 20,000 people is kind of where I like to stay, right? So then on top of that, I've been down here and I've been in pretty remote places a lot. I've been by myself a lot. So getting dropped into first Cabo San Jose and then Cabo San Lucas was quite a lot for one day. It was kind of overload, which is weird. That's something new that has just recently started happening over the past few years. Is I've started getting to the point, primarily because I spend so much time in such remote areas, I get to the point where I almost get anxiety whenever I'm around a lot of people. Then on top of that, I'm in a foreign country, I don't speak the language, and I am traveling in my home. This is all of my belongings are right here in Apple. And when I don't feel safe parking somewhere, then that really hinders the plans a little bit. But it's all right. So I've traveled a little bit north. I found a little spot here to camp out for the evening. And I think that this spot will be all right. So let me show you. All right, well, that's going to wrap up part 3 of the Baja series. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like it. And until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. And remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all.